Hello, I'm Simon and welcome back, or hello if you are new. Here at Three Guys English, we strive to help you achieve your English goals, whether they are to improve your speaking skills, get a higher IELTS score, or to use English for business and travel. In this video, we're going to look at part 2 of the Perfect Tense series and focus on using for and since. I hope you enjoy it. Also, please like, subscribe, and comment if you have any questions or suggestions. Hello, in this lesson we're looking at part 2 in the Perfect Tense series. Before we begin, let's have a quick review of the past participle verbs that we need for this grammar point. As you can see from the list, we got our present, past, and past participle. We need to use the past participle verb for this specific grammar point. So for example, in number 1, I have seen that new movie. Or number 2, I have done my homework. Or number 3, I haven't driven to that new mall yet. The regular verbs as well. The regular verbs are a little bit easier, but again, it's still a reminder that we have to use these past participle verbs in there as well. Okay, so when we're looking at this point here, we can also use the perfect tense to talk about an action that started in the past and is still continuing right now. So for example, think about where you're living. You started living in your apartment or your house maybe a few years ago, a few months ago, and you're still living there now, and you might be living there again in the future. To do this, we commonly use for and since to make this specific sentence. Now, there are two different ways to do this. Now, let's look exactly at the difference between for and since. We use for to talk about the length of time. So, for example, I've been living there for 3 weeks, for 2 years, for 2 days, or for 6 hours. Since, on the other hand, is used to talk about a specific place in time. So, for example, I've been living there since Monday, I've lived there since April, I've been enjoying myself since New Year. Any situation where we talk about a place in time. So just remember that for is for the length of time and since is for a specific place in time. Here is the sentence construction for this specific grammar point. The first one here, I have lived here for 3 weeks and I have been living here for 3 weeks. Notice that I've got both lived and been living. Don't worry, we'll look at the difference between that later in the class today. Again, go back to the video on subject-verb agreement if you're having trouble with the I have or she has situation. That can be a bit tricky, but there's a video that I've done and I'll put the link at the top of the screen. Okay, let's look at some examples. So how long have you worked here? I've worked here for 5 years, length of time. I've worked here since 2016, specific place in time. And the next one, how long have you been married? I've been married for 3 weeks, or I've been married since Monday. I'll put a little note here for us as well. We only use married for the present simple. You won't see an ing. I have been marrying, but we'll look at that a little bit later. How long have you studied English? I have studied English for 6 months. I've been studying since December. Again, for length of time, since specific moment in time. Let's look at a sample conversation. How long have you been working here?
I have been working here for 3 years, but I'm thinking of leaving.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Why?
Well, I haven't decided yet. I have been reading a lot of travel books, so I might go on a long trip.
English is full of rules, but these rules are not 100% set. They change and can change frequently. So we really have to learn many exceptions. And this grammar point is no exception. So let's have a look at this one here. We commonly use present perfect simple with short actions such as have, stop, and break. So you can say he has had an accident. We didn't say he has been having an accident. That would suggest it's been happening multiple times or many situations. The next one again, they have stopped studying or they have been stopping studying. Again, the second one sounds strange because it sounds like they've been stopping, starting many, many times. So when we use this specific grammar point, the perfect tenses, especially using the action verbs have, stop, and break, we only use it for the simple tenses. We commonly use present perfect simple again with thinking verbs such as know, decide, and forget. The first example here says he has known about the meeting, but not he has been knowing about the meeting. You might have heard some people say he has been knowing about something or he has been deciding about something, okay? But we don't generally use it in that sense. We generally keep it to the present perfect simple. Same with decide. They have decided to leave. They have been deciding to leave. Decided is an action that we think has happened and we've done it. But we've been deciding, we don't use it in that same way. We can say we have been thinking, for example, but decide, know, and forget, we generally don't use them with the ing. Finally, we look at the difference between has been or has. And this is a very simple difference. There is no difference. It's the same thing in this situation. So we can use present perfect simple or present perfect continuous without changing the meaning with work, teach, and live. So he has taught English for 6 months, or he has been teaching English since last summer is exactly the same. There's no change in meaning there. I've worked for 2 years, or I have been working for 2 years. Again, there is no big change in meaning. In a later video, we will look at the present continuous again, but for the time being, just focus on these 3 key points here. With work, teach, and live, we can use them interchangeably with the simple present perfect or the present perfect continuous without any change in meaning. Okay, that's it for today. In a future video, please look out for more on our series on the perfect tenses. It's a very interesting one. It can be a very tricky one, but together we will get it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out one of our other great videos here on 3 Guys English. Thanks. See you again.